Retired coal workers in the region are rallying. Pensions are moving to the forefront of the upcoming elections. And nearly 8,000 people are marching north as part of a massive migrant caravan headed for the U.S. And in sports, it was a loaded slate for homecoming weekend that featured an all-time record for Ohio volleyball beat broken. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Ohio has already spent the majority of their federal funding trying to combat the opioid crisis. Good evening, I'm Thomas Garvick. Thanks for joining us. Ohio did not hesitate to spend the first round of federal dollars targeting the opioid crisis, but unlike other states, Ohio spent the money to expand Medicaid under the National Health Care Law. Officials spent nearly $20 million, about 73% of the money it received. The state's Mental Health and Addiction Services Agency says the money was used to fill gaps in the response to the opioid crisis that was not covered by Medicaid expansion. This included adding quick response teams to follow up with surviving overdose victims and add programs to train nurses and doctors. Another report released this year showed that the number of opioid deaths is the lowest it's been in 8 years. The number of opioid deaths in Athens County is around 16%, one of the lowest in the state. Montgomery County is the highest in Ohio, followed by Butler, Brown, and Clermont counties, which are all in southern Ohio. National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day is coming up. On Saturday, the city of Athens and the Athens Police Department will be working with the DEA to collect prescription drugs. The event will take place at the Elks Lodge parking lot from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Last year, nearly 100 pounds of prescription medicines were collected in Athens. With midterm elections approaching, one issue that is often overlooked is coming to the forefront. Thousands of Ohio Valley workers and retirees have been rallying over pensions since the summer. These workers have questions about whether pensions for miners, teachers, and others will remain financially stable. Larry Miller of Ohio County, Kentucky, mined coal for 20 years before retiring. He says pensions is his #1 voting issue.
I vote in my world on this pension. And, that's just the way it is. And there's no other factors for me. I got to take care of my family.
Miller says he and his wife base their retirement on his pension and Social Security. Pensions for around 43,000 retired coal miners in Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio are at risk. Pensions are a campaign issue for candidates in Ohio's U.S. Senate race. Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown and Republicans U.S. Representative Jim Renacci discussed the issue of pensions at their first debate earlier this month. They faced off in their second debate on Saturday. They talked about taxes, immigration, gun control, climate change, and health care. A third debate is planned for Friday. Pensions are just one of many issues Ohio voters will be paying attention to November 6th. Tune into a special episode of Newswatch this Friday to learn about what's going on to be on the ballot. We will have all the details about local and state races and other important issues that will affect the community.
Welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Blake Cardesy. It was a nice fall day out there today, and that's going to continue into the overnight hours. If you take a look behind me right now, we're looking at temperatures of 58 degrees under clear skies. It's going to be a very pleasant evening, and the sun should be setting right about now. So if you take a look outside, you should see a very nice sunset. Winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour at the moment. Right now, as we take a look across the region, we're looking at 58 here in Athens. 63 is a one spot down there in Ironton, followed by Ripley at 60 degrees. All of these areas under very clear skies today, with the temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. So Thomas, as we go out for the next couple of days, it's going to be fall-like temperatures continuing the next couple of days. Lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, not too cold, not too warm. So it's going to be very pleasant for the next couple of days. Yeah, and it just kind of feels like as we're nearing Halloween, it's finally getting into that fall weather, as you mentioned. So hopefully it stays nice. Yes, it absolutely will. As the temperatures continue to drop in the next couple of days, it won't last too long, but we do have some nice temperatures at the moment. Absolutely. Thanks, Blake. 4 cases of a mysterious illness that can paralyze children have been reported in Ohio. The Ohio Department of Health thinks it is a neurological condition called acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM. Symptoms are sudden weaknesses in the arms and legs, and the cause is unknown. The CDC says more than 150 cases nationwide are under investigation.
18 drivers in Ohio might be getting more practice in before they can get their license. A proposed Ohio bill would increase the time new drivers have to hold permits from 6 months to a year. This would apply to drivers under the age of 18. It would also prohibit holders on probation from driving from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. unless they are with a parent. The ACLU of Ohio is suing to help keep homeless people on a church property. The civil rights organization is asking an appeals court to overturn a ruling that bans homeless camps near downtown Cincinnati. The church claims the judge lacked authority to enact the ban because it prohibits camps on sidewalks and public grounds, but it does not specifically say anything about private property. One of the largest extreme sports events in the world kicked off this weekend. This is Bridge Day in Pena, and more than 350 people jumped this year. The bridge is nearly 900 feet above the water from the jump platform that is 2 times higher than the Washington Monument. Turkish officials are claiming the Saudis sent in a body double to cover up a murder of a journalist. That story, plus migrants are headed towards the United States. What this could mean for countries receiving U.S. aid.
Baseball is going fast, but don't get bored on us mid-season now. The playoff picture is starting to develop, and every game that we bring you will have playoff implications. Right now is one of the most exciting times of the fall.
Which means you can't afford to miss Friday nights with us. Live at 11:30, Gridiron Glory is here for you.
And check out our Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages all throughout the week. They're chock full of coverage.
So start your weekends with us. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights in Gridiron Glory.
I'm such a huge fan of PBS. For my entire life, it's been our window into a world of the arts that isn't available anywhere else on TV. We learn about our numbers and our letters and singing through music, through the incredible children's programming they have. And then we grow up and we get to see the world of the arts, whether it's ballet or opera or Broadway, and so many other amazing moments that you wouldn't get anywhere else except for PBS.
LGBTQ and civil rights activists are taking their voices to Washington. Organizations marched to the front of the White House to rally against what they call an attack against the LGBTQ community. They are responding to a New York Times report that says the Trump administration is working on a proposal that would define sex as only male or female. If adopted, it would erase recognition for many Americans who identify as a different gender. Russia is also speaking out against President Trump and saying they would be, quote, forced to respond if the U.S. develops new missiles. President Trump announced this weekend the U.S. will withdraw from a decades-old nuclear arms treaty. The Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or INF, was signed by Ronald Reagan in 1987. President Trump says Russia and China are violating the agreement. Kremlin spokesman says President Putin believes the U.S. has also broken the treaty. Organizers say there are now 7,500 people marching north as part of a migrant caravan. The group plans to travel through Mexico and head towards the U.S. President Trump says the U.S. may cut aid to Central American countries because of it. Kelly Smoot has the very latest from Washington.
More than 7,000, mostly Central American migrants, continued their march north towards the U.S. border Monday, saying they are seeking safety and better economic opportunities.
Our message is we're not criminals. We're coming over here because we want to work. We need a job. We need better, a better life. That's why we're here.
That is on top of some 3,000 Hondurans who have already quit the caravan and returned home, and the more than 1,000 who stopped their journey in Mexico, claiming refugee status there with the help of the UN's Refugee Agency.
Numbers will increase in the coming days to address and ensure adequate protection of information on the asylum system to members of the caravan.
But most say they plan to continue their slow march to the U.S., a more than 2,000-mile journey on foot.
This bridge, this river, they can't stop me, she says. I am an all-terrain woman.
President Donald Trump expressed his disappointment that the caravan has not yet been stopped, saying, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador were not able to do the job of stopping people from leaving their country and coming illegally to the U.S. We will now begin cutting off or substantially reducing the massive foreign aid routinely given to them. Most of the money the U.S. has promised to those countries for this year has already been spent. The scheduled 2019 foreign aid packages from the U.S. to Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador add up to more than $180 million. In Washington, I'm Kelly Smoot reporting.
President Trump spoke about the caravan at a rally in Nevada over the weekend, saying the upcoming midterms will be, quote, the election of the caravan, law and order, tax cuts, and common sense. Senior Turkish officials are now saying they believe the Saudis set a body double to cover up the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi was killed at the beginning of the month. The official Saudi explanation is that Khashoggi's death was the result of a fight gone bad. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called an emergency meeting with his cabinet today. Trudeau's office says Saudi explanations lack consistency and credibility. Where you live could determine how long you'll live. That's great news for people in Spain, who are now expected to have the longest lifespan by 2040. But what about Americans? Kim Hutcherson has the answer in today's Health Minute.
Bad news for Americans. Living longer, healthier lives doesn't come easily in the U.S. According to a new study published in the journal Lancet, in 20 years, the U.S. will have the biggest drop in life expectancy ranking of all high-income countries, falling from 43rd place in 2016 to 64th place by 2040. At that point, the average life expectancy should be 79.8 years. And while the global average is expected to rise by 4.4 years over the next 2 decades, for Americans, that number will only increase by 1.1 years. The two biggest factors in the decline of life expectancy in the U.S. are increases in drug-related deaths and obesity. The report says people in Spain are expected to live the longest by 2040, an average of 85.8 years, just beating out Japan, which has long held the number 1 position. The bottom 2 spots on the list belong to Lesotho and the Central African Republic, both with life expectancies of less than 60 years. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
And according to Medical News Today, says no smoking and only drinking a moderate amount of alcohol can help you extend your life expectancy. Take a look at this dramatic rescue in Detroit. A city worker and a contractor were rescued after falling down a 40-foot manhole. Officials say it was a huge team effort to rescue the men. The city worker had minor injuries and the contractor wasn't hurt. The pumping station was owned by the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department. One couple is back at Ohio University after graduating in the 1960s. That story's still ahead.
And we have lots of sunny days coming up ahead, but I'll let you know when you can expect your next rain shower when Newswatch returns. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
I love PBS because at the heart of everything PBS does is education.
I use PBS not only in my home, but also in my classroom.
It's kind of the idea of being the great equalizer for learning and for education.
I'm a lifelong learner, and PBS has always been part of that journey for me.
I love PBS because PBS supports teachers.
They know what works for kids and what's best for kids, and that's why I love PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Ohio residents are cleaning up after a storm hit over the weekend. In Lakewood, a garage caught on fire and 2 cars chaired over the storm knocked over a utility pole. In Cleveland, a tree smashed into a car, and in another part of the city, more trees fell on businesses and blocked a busy street. Resident John Callick says that he's lucky his home is still standing after a huge tree toppled his yard during the storm.
I'm out in my PJs and my sweatshirt, surveying what happened, and it's like, wow, the garage is good, the house is good. I was shocked.
Street lights and lights from businesses and homes lost power, with damage like this all across Northeast Ohio into today.
If you like fall weather just as much as I do, then I got some good news for you. We're having lots of fall-like temperatures coming up in Athens the next couple of days. Right now, though, looking at Athens, looking at 58 degrees for our temperature right now. It's going to be a very pleasant evening under sunny skies. That sun should be starting to set right about now. It's going to be a nice evening if it's still a little bit daylight outside. Kids want to go outside. It'd be a good day to do that. Take them to the park, take them outside for a little walk. Be a good day for that. Winds right now out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look across the region right now, looking at 59 in Jackson, a warm spot down in Ironton of 63 degrees. In Athens, Ripley is 60 degrees. All of our areas under clear skies tonight. It's going to be a very clear night, which is going to cause the temperatures to go down a little bit. I'll talk to you more about that in just a few minutes. Right now, looking at precipcast, we do have this cold front that's going to be making its way into the Ohio Valley here in the next couple of days. Right here, we have 2 high-pressure systems going to clear away a lot of those clouds. That's going to be giving us these clear days we've been having, and as well these cold nights as well. As that high pressure continues about the area, it's going to keep us keep those skies clear for us for the next couple of days. And as by tomorrow night, that cold front does finally move through the area, bringing us slightly colder temperatures. Not too drastic, but just enough to make you want to grab maybe a coat or something as you go out the door. So tonight in Athens, looking at clear skies, temperatures low of 43 degrees. It's going to be a cool, brisk night, so make sure you grab those jackets if you're going out and about tonight. We have light winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour out of the southwest. Overnight lows for the region, looking at 42 in Jackson, 43 in Athens. 41 is one of our coolest spots up in Cambridge, as well as Columbus at 43. Again, those skies are going to be very nice and clear. You're going to have a nice clear shot of the moon tonight if you like to go out stargazing tonight. Tomorrow in Athens, looking at 58 degrees for a high temperature. Again, sunny skies. It's going to be mild, very sunny, plenty of sunshine. So like I said, for this evening, tomorrow as well, get outside, take your kids to the park, go for a walk, enjoy it while you can before winter finally decides it wants to come in next month or two. Winds tomorrow is going to be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we take a look around the region tomorrow, same conditions. You're going to have temperatures in the upper to mid to upper 50s. A couple warm spots in Ironton and Ripley of 61 degrees. 55 in Columbus for the state capital, and 56 over in Cambridge as well. Very pleasant day, very traditionally fall-like. The leaves are starting to change. It's going to be very nice fall weather coming up ahead. As we take for the next 7 days, that sunshine continuing. Here on Wednesdays when that cold front comes through, you can see a drop of temperature slightly. But as we go through the weekend, Saturday we might have a possibility of some rain showers moving through. The models aren't too sure about that 100%, so we'll keep an eye on that for you, definitely. And as we go on Sunday, temperatures go down to 51 degrees, kind of a cold, wet, dreary day. Not looking forward to that whole lot. But as we go into beginning of next week, we have 53 degrees on Monday. Those rain showers will be continuing into the next couple of days. Thomas?
Yeah, hopefully we avoid the rain, Blake. You know, it's been pretty nice, so thank you. Ohio University's homecoming weekend welcomes back hundreds of alumni each year, and Newswatch reporter Ben Schwartz spoke with one couple who hadn't returned to the area since graduating decades ago.
Ohio University's homecoming saw loads of alumni, new and old, return to the university last week. One couple in particular, who hadn't returned to Athens since graduating in the late 1960s, witnessed a very different Athens than students know today.
Everything else is a lot different. I mean, I remember Court Street and Copeland Hall where I took all my classes, but there's so much more development in the Athens area.
Kent and Judy Harbison graduated from OU in 1967, back when the university had nearly 10,000 less students than it does today. One place that brought back some nostalgia for the couple was College Green, the site of the school's first academic buildings when it was founded in the early 1800s.
When you ask me, what do I feel about this, it's heavenly for me because, you know, I came here by myself from Wheeling, West Virginia, a little town, and this was to me big. And I went to school in a small college and then came here, and it still has the woods around, it still has the trees around, you know, so it really was quite nice. I'd come back here in a minute.
And while other parts of the area weren't as recognizable, College Green still had its same old feel. Reporting for WOUB News, I'm Ben Schwartz.
There are over 200,000 living OU alumni around the world, many of which make their way back at one point or another. We have all the highlights from homecoming weekend in Athens, find out what Bobcat got all MAC honors again, plus another Bobcat made history by breaking an Ohio volleyball record, her reaction to breaking the record when Newswatch returns. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
This fall is going fast, but don't get bored on us mid-season now. The playoff picture is starting to develop, and every game that we bring you will have playoff implications. Right now is one of the most exciting times of the fall. Which means you can't afford to miss Friday nights with us. Live at 11:30, Gridiron Glory is here for you. And check out our Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages all throughout the week. They're chock full of coverage. So start your weekends with us. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights in Gridiron Glory.
I'm such a huge fan of PBS. For my entire life, it's been our window into a world of the arts that isn't available anywhere else on TV. We learn about our numbers and our letters and singing through music, through the incredible children's programming they have. And then we grow up and we get to see the world of the arts, whether it's ballet or opera or Broadway, and so many other amazing moments that you wouldn't get anywhere else except for PBS.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Thomas Garwick. The Ohio football team can thank the Bowling Green Falcons for being their get-right game. These little guys showing off the dance moves on homecoming. They might want to pass along those moves to Poppy White because he's getting in the end zone a couple times. Look at this, a little trickery, reverse handoff to White, and he does the rest. 6 for the Cats. Game all tied at 7, and then it's White again. Brought to you this time by Nathan Rourke, who delivers a beautiful ball for White to climb the ladder. Wow. Game tied at 14. They gave Rufus something to clap about, and he's loving this too. Rourke again, dropping dimes. This time gets Andrew Meyer in on the touchdown party. Bobcats, they get back on track with a 49-14 win.
3 units contributed to the win, and we're pretty consistent throughout the game. That's what we've been striving for. We need to certainly build off of that as we go into the last 6 regular season matchups, as they're all going to be extremely important.
Rourke's 5-touchdown afternoon on Saturday earned him his 3rd MAC East Offensive Player of the Week award. And the guys that surround him are making life pretty easy for Air Canada.
I think he's really confident. We're really confident in him. I think that's all showing. His teammates are confident. He's got a great group of receivers to throw to. He's got an offensive line that's protecting him well. And so, you know, there's a lot of good things that are happening, and those are allowing him to showcase all his ability.
Rourke was also named the male MAC Scholar of the Week today, and his counterpart, Jamie Kasorek, was the female Scholar Athlete of the Week. Kasorek had a big weekend herself. She came into Friday's game needing 2 aces to break the all-time record at Ohio. Kasorek in Ohio swept Western Michigan Friday, and here's the ace that tied the record at 162. And then the very next serve, number 163. Look at that. Perfect placement. Nothing but excitement for Kasorek and the girls. How good is that?
Oh, I just had to wait for the home crowd. Are you kidding? I did that on purpose. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, that's just kind of icing on the cake. It's always been in the back of my mind, and then it became a reality this season. And then, you know, we were kind of inching up, and my serve was kind of, you know, a little up and down, but it's going up, I guess.
The Ohio soccer team has been on a roll lately, losing just 1 of their 8 matches in conference play. The team knocked off NIU 4-0, one of them by senior Maddie Kay, to move Ohio into 3rd place in the MAC. Then the team welcomed Western Michigan on Sunday, winner to move into sole possession of 2nd place. Up 1-0 late, and Serena Dierich scores off the rebound. Ohio wins 2-0 in that one. They are red hot heading into the regular season finale.
It's amazing. I mean, this group has been so focused this year, and their togetherness has been something that we haven't seen in a long time. And you know, in reality, and we talk about it all the time, and I've talked about it in the talks after the games, that the best team doesn't always win, but the team that works together, the best wins.
The team is back in action on Thursday. And while Ohio State fans were not happy with the outcome of this weekend's game, it fulfilled one inspiring wish. 20-year-old Tyler Trent is a Purdue student with terminal cancer. Tyler's one wish was for Purdue to upset Ohio State, and for him to be there to witness it. Before the game, the Purdue crowd changed their IU sucks chant to cancer sucks. But just because he successfully predicted the outcome of the game, he jokingly tweeted, "For those wondering, I have no idea what the winning Powerball numbers are," after the victory.
It was, make sure you grab your jackets as you go out and about tonight in Athens. It's going to be a low of 43 degrees. It's going to be a cool, brisk night tonight. Light breeze, but under clear skies. And tomorrow's weather in Athens, we're looking at 58 degrees for a high temperature under sunny skies. It's going to be mild at sensation. Make sure you go outside and enjoy it while you can. Winds out of the northwest of 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we take a look at the next couple of days, we have sunshine for the next rest of this work week. We go into this weekend, we have 40% chance of rain on Saturday, continuing on Sunday and Monday as well. Thomas?
Thanks again, Blake. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Thomas Garvick. Have a great night.